just so I can check that we have sound for a start. It's always good when you've got
Alright.
sound. Your Birmingham accent gets worse by the day, but at least
Always
it's
helps.
not.
Always helps, right?
It's at least it's not American this time.
Three, 269. Hello. Good evening and welcome to Shoot Some Shale, powered by D&D Media. And today we bring you a watch along from the Midlands where Birmingham Brummies take on Ipswich Witches. And I am joined this evening by normal resident Birmingham Brummie, Mr. Dylan. How are we doing?
I feel a little bit like Deathmush. Came back from holiday and I think I'm dead.
I can't believe you went on holiday. Not on.
It's despicable behaviour, innit?
Is
You're gonna tell
missing
her.
two meetings at Birmingham on the trot.
On tonight's through illness though, not through holiday. Last week was through holiday. Do you want to introduce our resident community service boy as well?
So yes, unfortunately, the sad news that we have to announce is that Glasgow Police Association have begged us to take Alan back for another day. So I was on work experience with us, and he's going to be in our analysis role this evening. And if he does a really good job, we might let him back next week, but we might not.
Hello, Alan.
Who knows?
Hello!
Oh God, he's very loud.
Hello, no, that was too quiet, I'm too loud. Can't win.
I'm turning this idiot right down.
Harsh.
So Palmer, shall we have a
that's
look
harsh.
through the teams that we've got tonight before we go to Alan for the meeting he's doing?
Oh, I suppose we can have a look.
Right, do you want to read out the Brummies and explain our little change for the riders to watch how we've done it tonight?
So, we'll do the rider to watch thing first. So, I am an Ipswich supporter. In Birmingham. I was about to say Birmingham is a Dylan supporter, but Dylan is a Birmingham supporter. So, instead of going for a rider to watch from each team, both of us, I've picked a Birmingham one to watch, and Mr. Dylan has picked an Ipswich man to watch. I hope that makes sense, and if it doesn't, then refer to the Elimination Chamber WWE pay-per-view with what Cody Rhodes said to The Rock in 3 words. So, for Birmingham, then lining up at number 1 is Tobias Newsliak on an average of 8.21. Riding at number 2 is it's Ginger Pubes Jonas Jefferson on a 4.50 average. At number 3 is the best rider in Poland, according to a meeting that happened over the weekend, Michael Jepsen Jensen, on a 7.50 average. At number 4 is Keenan Rue on a 5.67 average. Number 5 is Matty Zagar on a 7.2 average. At number 6 is the antivirus Antiviewlass on a 4.13. And at number 7 is a Rising Star, Jason Edwards.
And do you want to explain why your man to watch is the antivirus?
So, I've picked
he's alive.
Antiviewlass. I am. I'm not dead. I thought about it.
You went quiet for a moment. I was a bit worried. We'd lost half of D&D media.
No, that's all right. I was just replying to a very important text message. I've gone for Anti-Viewless as my my rider to watch. Watched him via the use of BSN at Workington on Saturday. Definitely didn't go. And obviously at Scunthorpe yesterday, and he was a very, 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 very good rider. Probably a bit unlucky in a few rides. If he rides like he did yesterday around here, then he might be all right, but then he might not be.
I don't have the averages to hand, so Palmer will read them out after I've gone through the Ipswich team. But for the Ipswich Witches, Jason Doyle leads the charge at number 1. It's Danny Wan King at number 2. Adam Ellis goes at 3. Tom Brennan at 4. Emil Saivudinov at 5. Dan Thompson at 6. And Jordan Jenkins is their rising star at number 7. Do you want to quickly bomb through those averages? Because I imagine you've printed out a BSN scorecard.
BSN ain't given us one. Alan's got the same one that I've done. No, I don't think so anyway. Anyway, could you also let Danny know that this is a family show and he's not meant to be doing his last name? Fan. So, Jason Doyle is on a 9.36 average. Danny King is on a 6.1. Adam Ellis is on 5.47. Thomas Brennan is on a 6.52. And Marcel Futinoff is on a 9.12. Dan Thompson on a 3.11. And Jordan Jenkins is their rising star. I hope this helps matters.
My Ipswich man to watch is probably no surprise. Tom Brennan, he was fantastic around Perry Bar last year. And he started this season very well as well. It could have been a whole number of riders in that team, to be honest. Dan Thompson was in my thoughts. Emil was there because he always rides Brum quite well. But I think Tom Brennan was the logical choice for that one. We've got a big fat 0 viewers at the moment. Nobody cares for the link. Shocking. Al, do you want to read through the team lineups from Belle Vue? Nobody likes us, yeah.
Yeah, can do. So starting with the home side of the Belle Vue Aces. At number 1, we've got Mr. Brady Kurtz on a 9.18 average. At number 2, on a 5.40 average, is Noric Bladon. At number 3, on a 6.58 average, is Jamin Lindsay. At number 4, on a 5.57 average, is Zach Cook. At number 5, it's everybody's favourite ginger, Dan Bewley, on an 8.52 average.
Is he everybody's favourite ginger, though?
Most people.
My favourite ginger.
Not mine either.
At number 6, on a 4.57 average, Kate Zitschke. And at number 7, their rising star, Jake Mulford.
Al, do you have a man to watch for Birmingham and a man for Belle Vue and a man to watch for Kings Lynn as well? We might as well give Alan a bit of talking to do.
So I'm going to go for Belle Vue with, to no surprise of anyone, Brady Kurtz. Great start to the season, and I think he'll be he'll be the man they need at number 1 to get the points on the board.
Palmer, can you remember how many points he scored at Ipswich last week?
What, out of all 23 that was scored combined?
Didn't Brady Kurtz get the 3 in that 23?
Yeah, Brady Kurtz is the 3 in 23.
Okay, I take that back. Apart from that meeting, he's done pretty well. Anyway, moving on to Kings Lynn, because nobody really cares about Belle Vue. At number 1 is Ben Cook on a 6.99 average. At number 2, on a 6.991 average, is Richard Lawson.
2 seconds, Al. As we look behind these two fellas on the BSN stream, there's our resident favourite ginger Palmer, Mr. Sydney.
He's no Josh McDonald.
Carry on, Al.
At number 3, on a 6.59 average, Mr. Winchester's favourite number 1, Nikolai Clint. At number 4, it's Niels Christian Everson on a 6.83. At number 5, it's Dan's favourite man, Yankovic, on a 658 average. At number 6, it's Chris Harris on a 606 average.
Boo.
And at number 7, it's Ashton Gouchon. Oh, sorry, Bouchon, the rising star. My man to watch for them, I'm going to go for Mr. Yankovic.
Strobs.
If he can do
got
get the
strong.
points on the board at number 5 that they need, then I'm sure Kings Lynn will be tough to beat. So yeah, come on, Kovic. I believe in you.
Thank you very much, Al. We'll bring you back in after. Palmer, the big question. How many rides is Belgium going to do tonight before withdrawing?
1.
2 meetings he's done so far this season for his teams, and he's pulled out of both of them.
He will have 1 ride. He will go to the local tanning shop, say, "Can I be your model?" They'll give him a chance, and then they'll see the pictures come out and they'll go, "You're not worthy of being a model. Go back to doing motocross."
Yeah, fair enough. We've got 2 viewers now. I know Mr. Ian is one because he's just messaged me to say he's one. What a boy.
Hello, Mr. Ian. We hope you're doing well.
I imagine Winchester will join us once he's finished work because he was, I think he was on an early today actually. So he might be joining us shortly. I like the backdrops BSN have got this year, a Premiership one and a Championship one. They look quite cool.
They are very nice. They are getting more and more professional each passing year.
They are, yeah. Our stream's frozen. The we're working again now. The riders' bikes are being strolled around to the start. Track looks really wet.
Are we working on?
It's been a beautiful day today. Yeah, it's working again now. Head to head. All the stats there are stacked in Jason Dawes' favour over Tobias Mischleck.
Yes.
But Toby's as good as anybody on his day.
Toby's usually scores from, stats from last season are down to having about 3 meetings.
And then giving up on Kings Lynn because of issues with Kings Lynn and injury. Palmer, do you want to quickly discuss the Ty Wolfenden thing and do the old wishes and all of that stuff? Because a lot has happened since we last did a live.
I wish I could give you an update.
I mean, just
if I'm completely honest with you, I don't really know what's happening other than I know he's been taken to hospital and he was put in an induced coma.
And he's now out of that.
I don't really look at. I didn't even know he was out of a coma. All I know is that events now, people are doing a chant for him.
Speedway, eh?
As much as I could tell you.
And
as much as I could tell you, really, I try not to keep up with news.
Who wants to hear the news? They only ever give you bad news.
Well, exactly.
And just riders are on
Listen
parade.
to chat shit instead.
Birmingham have done something a bit different this year. All the riders have got their national flags. I think Poole do this, don't they?
I think you might.
But yeah, coming up soon, we don't quite know when yet, but there will be the Championship Kevlar rankings because everybody's, apart from Plymouth's, has been revealed. And if what we have heard on the grapevine is true, then there ain't going to be any Plymouth ones to rank. We'll also potentially have a watch along on Wednesday, and if not, we'll be back next Wednesday for... Is it Poole and Plymouth next Wednesday? I know it's coming up. No, it might be the Wednesday after. I know it's coming up soon.
Yeah. I think it's the Wednesday after. I'm sure it's the 23rd.
Might be. I know it's coming up. Porky's there. dressed for the occasion. It's lovely and warm, but it does get very cold at the track at night. Birmingham had last time we did a watch along. It was to Birmingham at Leicester, and they were pretty good on that night. But since then they've gone to Sheffield and been absolutely trounced.
Yes. Still not as bad as Belle Vue the other night, so you can always take a little bit of. I don't know what the word is.
Positivity.
But yeah, you haven't got the worst defeat of the season.
And to be fair, that'll take some skill for anyone to lose as badly as Ipswich beat Belle Vue the other week.
I'm sure Plymouth will have a good go.
Talking of Plymouth, maybe surprised a few people in the Championship pairs on Saturday.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I was rooting for them in the semi-final. I really was.
Yeah,
It
Nicola
was nice
Clint.
to see a different team.
Yeah, rather than one of the the ones you'd expect.
Mm.
Emil is so
It's
small.
always
Do you want to whack the cameras off on our Discord chat? That may be slowing things down a bit. Because we have definitely frozen at this point. So, few technical issues. Palmer's computer has died, and just like that, Palmer has returned. We've just done a technology swap. I'll now be doing the screen share so we can watch the action and Palmer can sit and do the talking. Alan's on standby just in case Palmer dies again, and the riders are pushing off for heat number 1. Palmer, are you alive?
It's with great regret to have to inform everybody that I am officially dead.
Can you see the screen share alright, Mush?
Can now, I've got it on.
The Ipswich Witches are off 2 and 4. I'll do the lineups and results. Palmer can call the action. And we are at the tapes for heat number 1. Going off the inside gate in blue for the Brummies, Jonas Jeppesen. Gate 2 in yellow, Danny King. Gate 3 in red is Tobias Mishlek. And off the outside in white, Jason Doyle. There's no real weak links in this Ipswich team, is there, Palmer?
Absolutely not, and being the glory hunter I am, you know, a trophy in October wouldn't be nice. September be even nicer, so we win it in. But yeah, you look at the Witches team, and if they stay injury free, it's hard to see anybody beating them over 2 legs.
It's hard to see anybody beating them in general. I think Sheffield sent out a message the other night. They were solid as well, to be fair. I know Birmingham
I think if Sheffield's first meeting of the year, given the circumstances, they was never going to not lose.
Right, Palmer, take us away for the first time tonight.
The tapes rise, and we are underway in heat number 1. It's a very good start from the Birmingham Brummies. As Doyle, has he binned it? No, he's managed to stay on. It's Ginger Pube Jonas Jeppesen that currently leads as we go into the second lap, followed by Danny King there in the second position. Tobias Mujalak struggling in third, and while Jason Doyle's just been a bit shit at the back, to be honest with you. But the pressure is now on Jonas Jeppesen at the front, coming from Danny King in second place, as we come into lap number 3 now. And Danny King's piling on that pressure on Jeppesen, you know. One mistake from Jeppesen and Danny King will be through. But Jeppesen currently holding a really good line here, as we've got 1 lap left to go. Danny King's trying absolutely everything. And Mujalak's trying to get to King, but it just is not happening. And it's a win for Jonas Jeppesen.
Both the Brummies made the start then, and Jeppesen just moved slightly off that inside line, and he almost screwed Toby as well. But a very good result for Jeppesen, who a lot of people said would be the weak link in this Brummies team. For me, he's been one of the more consistent riders in it so far. He's not catching everybody's eye, don't get me wrong, but he's doing his job. He's getting 3 or 4 points a meeting. And the result of heat number 1 was a win for the rider in blue, Jonas Jeppesen. Second in yellow, Danny King. And third in red, Tobias Mishlek. 4 points to the Brummies, 2 points to the Witches. And we'll bring Alan in after the track grades of heat 4, 7, whenever the interval is, because I don't know. And before heat 15, that was done pretty much from the gate by Jonas Jeppesen. Toby made a good start. Oh, we've switched camera. Jeppesen made a fantastic gate, and Toby was there, but Jeppesen decided to move out to mid-track and force Toby wider than he wanted to go, allowed Danny King through.
Not ride from Jeppesen, that, to be honest. Fair play. Is that his first win at Birmingham this season?
He won heat 8 against Leicester. It looked like he was on a rocket ship in that one as well. This reserve pairing for Ipswich is scary.
It is.
It's a very good pairing.
Go talk to them, they'll make you less scared. They're very nice people.
The sodding hell is Antivulas riding. Antivulas looks like he's on a bloody upright. The back of that The back of his bike looks like an upright. So the line-up for heat number 2 going off the inside gate in white for the Witches, Dan Thompson. Gate 2 in red, Antivulas. Gate 3 in yellow, Jordan Jenkins. And off the outside in blue, Jason Edwards. And Jason Edwards will not be happy with gate 4 after seeing what Jason Doyle's just done from there. Sod all. The start,
Doyle made a bit of a cock-up, didn't he?
The start marshal looks like stone cold with those knee braces on. What a boy. Look at the mudguard on Viewlass's bike. It looks like an upright.
How they used to be. The good old days.
I don't think he's always had that mudguard though.
I can't remember what he was at. What if he had that yesterday?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
I do like the look of this year. Obviously, every team has to have at least matching fork covers. I think it just looks more professional, if I'm honest. Good start for the Brummies though, but it could very, very easily in this one swing straight the way back to the Witches.
Bring back sponsors needed race jackets. High Plymouth. So the start Marshall walks away then for hit number 2. Tapes rise under way we go. Blistering start there from Dan Thompson there in the white helmet colour. Jordan Jenkins being forced out wide there by Andy Viewlass, and now Jason Edwards putting a challenge in on Dan Thompson as Jordan Jenkins there looks to come around the outside there of Andy Viewlass, and Jordan's done him.
Anti-Viewlass is shit.
We apologise for Mr. Dillon's choice of language there. But yeah, Dan Thompson's there out in front doing Dan Thompson things. Jason Edwards there has been put under pressure now from Jordan Jenkins. Anti-Viewlass is at the back still, so it's currently a 4-2 situation to Ipswich, which would level the scores on the evening. I don't think anybody's catching Dan Thompson now, but the big challenge is coming from Jordan Jenkins, who doesn't manage to get second, but he stays in third.
Both the Brummies made the gate again there. Dan Thompson rode a smart inside line to peg it down. There's Mr. Doug Moore with his Monster Energy hat on and his big IVs, taking my job this year, the little shizer. Anti-Viewlass got himself into third, but couldn't hold on to it. The result of heat number 2 was a win for the rider in white, Dan Thompson, second in blue, Jason Edwards, and third in yellow, Jordan Jenkins. 4-2 to the Witches this time, and it's 6 apiece after 2 rides.
Yes, it is.
I wouldn't be giving Anti-Viewlass too long if I'm honest. He's not impressed me at all yet this season. In any meeting he's done at Birmingham or away for home for Birmingham, he's been crap.
He hasn't been very adaptive to the Birmingham lifestyle.
No, and there are better riders out there without a team, in my opinion.
But are these riders prepared to come to Birmingham?
It's true. Although you'd imagine these riders are going to want a top league team. You know, you've got riders, Joy Etheridge, people like that, Troy Batchelor, Stevie Worrell, Simon Lambert, Connor Mountain, Jake Allen, just to name a few that have not got a team that, in my opinion, are better than Anti-Viewlass. Heat number 3 is at the line now, and this is a good pairing for Ipswich as well.
You want a quick laugh?
Oh God, what?
I know this is Alan's job, but I have to say this.
Has Kurt's been shizer in Heat 1?
Brady Kurt's been beat in Heat 1 by Richard Lawson.
What a boy. We won't talk any more about that. We'll bring Alan in shortly. The lineup of
taking the job out.
Heat number 3 going off the inside gate in. No, that's the wrong way around. Going off the inside gate in red is Michael Jepsen Jensen. Gate 2 in white is Adam Ellis. Gate 3 in blue, Keenan Rue, and off the outside in yellow, Tom Brennan. There are 2 riders on the wrong gates.
Jepsen Jensen should be off 3 and Keenan Rue should be off 1.
The ref needs to. Who is the ref tonight? They're on the Porky's just told them they're on the wrong gates.
Seth Perkins, the referee this evening.
So going off the inside in blue should be Keenan Rue, and gate 3 in red should be Michael Jepsen Jensen. They've both gone to the wrong gate.
What a pair of wallies.
Jepsen Jensen should be high on confidence after the weekend. He's going to slot straight in where Keenan Rue has just been digging, and vice versa. What a gate by Keenan.
Away we go. Sorry, I missed that. Great start there for the Red and Blue there. Keenan Rule with both the Ipswich, which is settling in second and third, and the best rider in Polish Speedway currently towards the rear of the field, and doesn't really look to be challenging any of the witches either. Although Tom Brennan now just looking to come up the inside there of Keenan Rue, and Rue just holding the right line, but can Brennan do it? It's very, very close as they're going to the first and second bends on the next lap. And currently,
Ooh.
Nearly carnage.
Nearly.
It's currently Keenan Rue there that's out in front. Tom Brennan there in second. Adam Ellis is still there in third. Michael Jepsen Jensen at the rear of the field. And you wouldn't have thought Michael Jepsen Jensen won a meeting the other day, which is almost definitely better than a Grand Prix.
Beating the likes of Robert Lambert and then losing to, with all due respect, Adam Ellis. Keenan Rue's been an absolute shining light for the Brummies so far this season. He's really taken to pay bar, and he did well in the away meetings as well, to be honest. And the result of heat number 3 was a win for the rider in blue, Keenan Rue, second in yellow Tom Brennan, and third in white Adam Ellis. Michael Jepsen Jensen finishes at the rear of the field. Points divided again, 3 apiece, and it's now 9-all on the night.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Jepsen Jensen just made a really bad gate, to be honest, then.
He's only using British Speedway for pocket money.
He missed it by an absolute mile. But it is strange how he can go to Poland and win that meeting and then get beat by lesser riders in this. First appearance of the night of Matty Zagar, who seems to be, from what we've seen around the pits at Birmingham and stuff, he seems to be the class clown for the Brummies. He's bringing the joy and the fun. Seems happy to be back in British Speedway.
Nice that he's happy.
We will bring Alan in after this race as well. Be interesting to see if either team makes a reserve switch in this one. Jason Edwards is here, so the Brummies haven't. It's really... Carry on.
Go on.
It's really difficult to see a weak link in this Ipswich team anywhere. And
there isn't one, really.
I think that's JJ. Yeah, no changes. The lineup of heat number 4 going off the inside gate in blue for the Brummies. Jason Edwards, gate 2 in yellow Jordan Jenkins, gate 3 in red Matty Zagar, and off the outside in white Emil Saivudanov, who seems to like Perry Bar, I think it's fair to say.
I don't think there's a...
He's only a little fella, isn't he, Emil? He's tiny. And when you put him next to Zagar, he looks even smaller.
Zagar is the man that they call the Green Giant.
He's a proper lanky fella, isn't he?
Matty Zagar reminds me a little bit of Simon Lambert.
Yeah, he's quite stocky, and Sam Masters, he's quite stocky as well.
Yeah, we just can't really laugh at Lambert or Zagar. We laughed at Masters yesterday. It's been a knob. At the time, Ashton walks away for heat number 4, and away we go. Tapes Reds, it's a very good start for the inside there from Jason Edwards, and not Don Thompson, Jordan Jenkins comes around him, and it's surprisingly Emil Saivudanov towards the rear of the field with Matty Zagar and Jason Edwards sitting there in the second and third positions. Team riding Emil out of this one, which is a good strategy from Birmingham, although Emil's looking to come up the inside there now, and he's ever so close to these Birmingham boys. There's still 2 laps left to go of this race, I think, anyway. I can't count, so you can't really discount Emil just yet, but Jordan Jenkins riding an absolute blinding race there out in the first place position, and if the BSN cameras could help us out, that'd be great, please, fam. I love you and all that, but we're in the last lap now. Matty Degar's now putting a bit of pressure on the rider in yellow, Jordan Jenkins. I think Jenkins has just got enough in the tank. Where the bloody hell is Emil Footing going? He just wanted to pop to Asda. Well, that's another 3-3.
And what a brilliant ride from Jordan Jenkins. And again, it's difficult to see a weak link in this Ipswich team. I think before that race she'd have been forgiven for thinking if it was a shared heat that would have been the other way around. And you've got a meeting where Jason Doyle and Emil Saivudinov have both run a last in their first ride, and it's still 12-all. Result of heat number 4, it was a win for the rider in yellow, Jordan Jenkins, second in red, Matty Zagar, and third in blue, Jason Edwards. Points divided for a second shared heat in a row, and it's 12 apiece after 4 as the tractors come out. Al, what's going on at Belle Vue, Mush?
Not a lot.
Not a lot, he sounds.
We've had 2 heats at Belle Vue. You heard me right. 2 heats.
2?
Palmer Stormer Thunder in Heat 1 with Richard Lawson beating Brady Kurtz and Nordic Gladorn to take a 3 each. And it just gets worse for the Kings Lynn Stars, with Jake Milford winning Heat 2 and Tate Zishke teaming up with them for a 5-1 over Bomber. Retired.
Ow.
Bomber's crap at Belle Vue, to be fair.
If you've got the BSN app, that's more reliable than Speedway update.
Use the BSN.
Yeah, that's the one I've got. That's the one I've got. I've just seen a third score coming in, and it doesn't get better for Kings Lynn. Jamin Lindsay and
free as well.
Yeah, Jamin Lindsay and Zach Cook took a 5-1 over Clint and Niels Christian Everson to make the scores 13 to Belle Vue, 5 to Kings Lynn.
Oh. But with all due respect to Ben Cook, for me he's the worst number 1 in this league. To lose to Norrick Bladorn, who's, let's be honest, not been great so far this year.
He's a second string riding in the number 1 position.
Yeah, and there was always going to be somebody sacrificed with how Kings Lynn have built their team, but the way it's going, Ben Cook is going to be the one going to reserve to replace Bomber. And
That would have been a bad thing.
Jonas Jeppesen has joined Lee Kilby in the booth. We would take a break, but I don't want to screw up the screen share, so we'll just keep talking. Should we have a listening to what Jonas says? We're not doing anything wrong by putting the interview on, I don't think.
Incoming fine from BSN.
Yeah, let's not. I don't think they'd have an issue with the interview, to be honest, but it's better to be
I'd be very surprised if they I'd be very surprised if they listened to these streams, to be honest.
I'd be surprised if they knew we exist, but I think they should do, because we're quite good at this stuff now. We've got 2 viewers. Nobody's in the comments. Palmer, what do we normally say about the comments? You ain't said this year yet.
If you would like to embrace us with a comment of your thoughts on proceedings, or would just like to tell us that we are crap at what we do, please leave it in the comments section. And if you do not have cake, I will bite you very, very hard.
Have we got Heat 4 from Belle Vue yet, Al?
Let me just double check.
No, in Belle Vue.
No, we do not.
Belle Vue do like to run slow, don't they? And they've just launched their streaming service, which, let's be honest, they've gone very professional, so it's a bit of a rip-off.
Yeah, you could watch Belle Vue versus Kings Lynn tonight for a mere £20.
Who on earth is going to pay $19.99 for a match day pass? For £4 more, you can go and watch it live.
Gonna stay.
With that, I'd want Mark Lemon and the Belle Vue team doing the conga around the pitch during the track grades.
If I paid £20 for a Belle Vue stream, I'd want Mark Lemon to come to my house and serve me a 3-course meal.
And like we said earlier, there may be a watch along on Wednesday to Oxford and Scunthorpe, because I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to buy it. Because Speedway, and we've gone long enough without. Some good signs for you yesterday as a Scunny fan though, Palmer, with Ian says I'm doing okay, but he don't know about you. Bit rude, innit? Good bit of solidarity from the Brummies there, having a little team huddle. There was none of this last year, so there's so much togetherness in this team now, and that can make all the difference, can't it?
Well, it certainly looks like there's a good team spirit in both camps, so maybe both sets of promoters and managers have got a bottle of vodka or something for the riders to share.
Doyley getting his helmet on ready for Heat 2, along with Danny, with second ride, Heat 5, along with Danny King. I think they're against Keenan, Rue and Jepsen Jensen.
That would be correct.
Oh, I'm good. Al, anything from Belle Vue? If not, we'll get Heat 4 on the next lot of track race.
No, nothing from Belle Vue.
Oh, sod
Yes,
off,
there is.
Mark. Oh, Alan's just delayed.
Yes, there is.
Story of Alan's life being late.
Well,
Oh, it has came through. It has came through.
It's amazing what
Typical
happens
me
when
when I
you
refresh
refresh it. Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you refresh. Decent looking crowd.
Heat 4 was won by, to no surprise of anyone, Dan Bewley,
Nobody
with
cares.
Yankovic in second
Boo.
and Jake Mulford in third. That 4-2 makes the score 17 to Belle Vue, 7 to Kings Lynn.
Was Ashton Bergen last?
Ashton Bowden was last.
He's proper shit, isn't he?
Yep.
Proper. Riders are
Oh,
now
he did say-
coming onto track for Heat number 5. Doyle will be looking to bounce back. Jepsen Jensen wants to get his SH1T together as well after that first ride. Imagine it's Poland and you're against Robert Lambert. Come on. Wake up.
Someone want to tell him this was the home of Bartosz Marzik for one meeting.
Yeah. His bike won't even start. There we go, we're off. What is it you normally say, Palmer? Twisty throttle, mate, bike, go faster.
Twisty thing, mate. Bike go fast.
We'll bring Alan back in after the next lot of heats on the next track round after Heat 7, where hopefully we'll have refreshed the BSN app. Gate switch around now. Ipswich, I think, have 1 and 3 times in this next block.
Yeah, it's only the next race where we've got 2 and 4.
And who's in that? Toby and Yepperson.
Jepsen versus Emil and Dan.
Ooh, the lineup for Heat number 5 then, going off the inside gate in yellow, the Witches captain Danny King, second in gate number 2 even in red, Michael Jepsen Jensen, gate 3 in white, Jason Doyle, and off the outside in blue, Keenan Rue. Interesting to see Jepsen Jensen and Doyle both with 0 points, and it's been Keenan Rue and Danny King scoring the points so far. And Rue looked very impressive in his first one, to be fair.
Keenan's going to want to prove a point against his former employers.
Yeah, because I think it was a mutual decision to not have him back. I think he wanted to go somewhere else and try a new home track, and Dad obviously replaced him already with Brennan anyway, so you always write better against your former club, don't you?
He originally wasn't coming back to British Speedway, I understand, until Birmingham snapped him up later on, but the tapes rise away we go then for Heat number 5. It's a great start there for the rider in white, Jason Doyle, when normal service has resumed from Doyley, with Michael Jepsen Jensen now in the second place position, with Danny King there in third. We build Keenan Rue up and then he lets us down. Typical Speedway rider, really.
Jepsen Jensen's got some speed on him here.
He has. Maybe he has understood that this was Bartosz Marzik's home track for a meeting, or one meeting, but Doyley still has the lead. Rue's trying everything at the back, but he just can't get round Danny King at the moment. But the pressure's on now for Doyley up the front. Jepsen Jensen's very, very close to Doyley. We're a little bit behind from what Dylan can.
Keenan Rue's done Danny
track.
King.
Oh, I thought he's on about the front.
Ooh,
Sorry.
And Jepsen Jensen nearly got Doyle.
That was a very, very close finish there.
That was the Michael Jepsen Jensen we know. From Poland. From Poland the other night, anyway.
Looks like Doyley's got it, according to a prisoner.
Doyley got that handshake between Jepsen Jensen and Doyley by the pit gate. Yeah, Doyley's just held on to that. So the result of heat number 5 was a win for the rider in white, Jason Doyle, second in red, Marco Jepsen Jensen, and crucially, brilliant outside overtake on 3 and 4 from Keenan Rue to finish third, and it's a third successive shared heat, and it makes it 15 apiece after 5. And people say Birmingham doesn't offer racing, but the track's holding up well tonight so far. There's 2 lines and they're both working.
I've enjoyed this meeting for what it's been so far.
Oh, I tell you what, that was closer than I thought. Jepsen Jensen's... Oh, nah, Doyley's just got that just.
We could do with camera the other, like, where the starting pole is on the centre green.
I'll tell you what, though.
I think that would have given us better.
That's one of those cases where one more lap...
Yeah, but Speedo's only raced over 4 much.
There's the camera you're looking
That's
for.
the camera we need.
Yeah, Doyley's got that by about half of the wheel. What is this fella celebrating in the background? Sorry, mate, but Doyley held on to that. Sun's starting to go down. Yeah. No, he had a Birmingham coat on.
Maybe he's just a Doyley fan as well, been an ex-Brummie.
Well, there is that. I think there's only one rider in this meeting that's not an ex-Brummie. Or at least has Birmingham connections somewhere down the line. Although, I don't think Jordan Jenkins has, but apparently there's been something before.
Well, when Jordan's ever ridden for Birmingham full time.
Maybe he's just guested or something then. And Emil's the only rider that's not raced for Birmingham at all. 5 of the 7 have been former Brummies, and Jordan Jenkins has guested before.
I do apologise. I had a throat and chest sweetie and I can't stop eating them. And I haven't had my tea yet.
Oh, lovely. Emil will be looking to do what Doyley's just done. He's off gate 2. Jepsen looked really good in his first one, gated really well.
Did?
And you've got to say Birmingham have probably got to take advantage of 1 and 3 here, because 2 and 4 don't seem to be great. Full line-up of it's heat number 6, BSN I'm afraid. Full line-up going off the inside gate in red is Tobias Michelet, gate 2 in white, Emil Saivudanov getting very close. They'll be giving each other a hug in a moment. Gate 3 is Jonas Jepsen, and off the outside in yellow, Dan Thompson, a very impressive heat 2 winner.
It must be love, love, love.
Do. And anyone could win this, because the 2 off the outside were very impressive in their first rides. The 2 off the inside, maybe not so much.
No, it's going to be a very, very interesting race.
It's still really good to see riders like Emil Saivudanov racing in Britain again, and they bring the entertainment. And I'd probably put Toby in that category as well, because he's a good rider on his day.
There's quite a few, and I think I think there's going to be more to come in future seasons.
100%.
So the start marshal walks away for heat number 6 to take the rise, and away we go. It's a solid start for Tobias Music there off the inside, although Dan Thompson there from the outside's got round the absolute lot. What a ride for the young rider who also rides for the Glasgow Tigers. I said Dr. Allen. Emil up the inside, can he do it? He's done one. Is he about to do Toby as well? Usually that goes wide. Emil takes advantage of that. So now the big battle is between Emil Saivudanov and Tobias Musiak. Jonas Jepsen, who won Heat 1 quite comfortably. Quite disappointing in this one. But if things stay as they are, and Emil is a very, very good team rider, not that he needs to at the current point in time, but if things stay as they are, Dan Thompson will be on a 6-point maximum. Which is
brilliant news for me, because he's in my fantasy league team.
Exactly. So as they come round Ben's 3 and 4, I'm not sure which lap it is. It might be the last one. I'm not too sure. Where the bloody hell is Toby going? Did he want a meal deal at Asda?
I'll retract my previous statement about Ben Cook being the worst number 1 in the league. I think he's got somebody that wants to join him in that group. Brilliant ride from Dan though. Maybe the gates have switched to 2 or 4 now. Toby had made a really good start then as well, just didn't have the speed. I don't quite think he knows where to ride at the minute at Birmingham. And for the first time tonight, the deadlock, since Heat 2, the deadlock's broken. It was a win for the rider in yellow, Dan Thompson, second in white, Emil Sarvudanov, and third in red, Tobias Mishlek. 5-1 to Ipswich, 16-20, the score after 6. Birmingham need to hit straight back. They cannot afford to take another Heat advantage in 7.
I mean, in fairness,
Toby made the best of the game. And then went to that place we like to call no man's land.
I mean, Birmingham have got gates 2 and 4 in the next heat, but we have got a Birmingham track specialist against them.
Who's that?
And in between them,
Oh,
in
Brennan.
Tom Brennan.
Brennan, yeah. And Adam Ellis knows his way around Perry Bar as well.
Well, he says he knows his way around Perry Bar. I know he knows his way around a bar when he sees one.
And Antivulas will be looking to bounce back after a disappointing Heat 2, and that isn't what you want from your number 6, is it, to be finishing last in the reserves race?
Not really.
No. Zagar looked quick last time out, just made a bad gate. It's the story of Birmingham's season so far, to be honest. Slow gating.
You're only on the 3rd meeting. There's time for it to get better.
Let's hope it bloody does. The full lineup of Heat number 7, going off the inside gate in white for Ipswich is Adam Ellis, gate 2 in red for the Brummies, Matty Zagar, gate 3 in yellow for the Witches, Tom Brennan, and off the outside in blue, Antivulas. Don't get any easier for Vulas, does it?
In a word, Nush, no.
We'll bring Alan back in after this one. I still remember last season when Adam Ellis guested for Kings Lynn, I want to say, and him and Tom Brennan had a coming together, and it put Adam through that 4th term fence.
I remember seeing it now. And now the bestie boos again, which is nice.
Speedway's a funny old game, isn't it?
It is. It certainly is. So a start matter and walks away for Heat number 7.
Oh, Adam Ellis has touched the tapes. You can always count on him doing that. But I don't think that's the worst thing, because they can now bring in Dan Thompson. Adam Ellis does like a twitch, don't he?
Thomas Jorgensen would be so proud.
And there's no two ways about it. Adam Ellis moved first, touch tapes. Now whether he goes off 15 or Dan Thompson comes in is another question. Or could Jordan Jenkins maybe come in? No, because he's got to do 8 anyway, so...
I think we all know what's going to happen here.
Dan's going to come in here, and I don't know what he was doing. Zagar went as well, but the tapes had actually risen when Zagar moved. Adam Ellis knows he done effed up, and that'll be a rerun with the exclusion of the rider in white. We ain't had to use the exclusion lights at Brum yet. First time this season.
Well, at least you know they work.
At least we know they work.
Always look at the bright side of everything.
It's very true. Adam Ellis has left the track, so if he hadn't been excluded before, he would be now, if that's still a rule that you can't do that, which I think it is. For a tapes thing, anyway. I imagine Dan Thompson's going to come in. Dan Thompson comes... No, Jordan Jenkins comes in.
Jordan Jenkins is in.
That's strange, because he's got to go in 8 as well. But he did impressively win Heat 4, so... I don't think this necessarily weakens Ipswich in any way.
If anything, as much as I love Adam to bits...
I was just going to say, there's no glaring weak links, but if you had to pick one, it probably would be Adam Ellis, with all due respect, if you was pushing for one. He has been better since he's gone to Ipswich. He seems settled, but if there was one that you don't always know what you're going to get, it is Adam Ellis, isn't it?
I mean, let's be honest. With Dan Thompson, I didn't like he's doing, you know, having an Adam Ellis-esque reserve is no bad thing in any team.
No.
Almost be like having Bomber at reserve.
Adam Ellis is one of those riders that's consistently inconsistent, isn't it? So, the revised lineup of Heat 7 going off the inside gate in white now will be Jordan Jenkins, gate 2 in red, Matty Zagar. Gate 3 in yellow, Tom Brennan. And off the outside in blue, Anti-Vulas. In any normal team, an exclusion for your number 3 would cause an issue, but when you've got reserves doing what JJ and Dan are doing, it's just a like for like, innit?
These Ipswich reserves of 2025 remind me of last year's Scunny reserves, right?
Luke and Nathan, yeah, where both
They
of
were-
them just... Nathan obviously dipped off a little bit after his accident, but especially at the start of the season, he was fantastic, weren't he?
Oh, I would. If Nathan not had that accident, I would not have been surprised to have seen him in the main 5.
And Ipswich, you've got to give credit to how they've built this team. They've used the points fantastic, and the talent they've put in this team together is remarkable.
Oh, they knew what they was doing. And fair play to them. Sam Ashley walks away for heat number 7. We'll try again, and tapes rise. Away we go. It's a very good start there for Jordan Jenkins off gate 1. Jenkins then having the lead over the rider in red, which is Matty Zagar, and although the big battle there. Oh, that could have been nasty, but it wasn't. But good ride there from Danny King. Is
Tom.
Danny King in the
Tom.
front?
No, Jenkins
I'm looking
is
at the
lead.
wrong bloody. I'm looking at the wrong bloody race.
Oh!
Oh, what a nightmare! Is it onside yet? But yeah, Jenkins has the lead over Matty Zagar. Brennan there in third. Brennan probably not doing as well as what was maybe expected of him around his former home track, with Anti-Vulas struggling again towards the rear of the field. But yeah, a big win this for Jordan Jenkins. His confidence is going to skyrocket after this, and fair play.
Somebody
Jordan
said
Jenkins.
this to us the other day in a group chat we were in, didn't they? Anti-Vulas rides too safe, and now you look for it, you can see that he does. He rides too
100%.
conservatively. And what a race win for Jordan Jenkins. This team is ridiculously talented, it's got to be said. The result of heat number 7, it was a win for the rider in white, the reserve that came in for the tape touching Adam Ellis. Jordan Jenkins, second in red, Matty Zagar, and third in yellow, Tom Brennan. That wasn't a reserve substitute, BSN Vulas was always meant to be in blue. Mr. Zagar got the elbows out with Brennan off the start line. And that's sometimes what you need, and it's somebody that's not afraid to throw it around a little bit. Quickly look for the scores for both teams. Tobias Michelet 2, Jonas Jeppesen 3, Marco Jeppesen Jensen 2, Keenan Rue 4+1, Matty Zagar 4, Anti-Vulas yet to score, Jason Edwards 3+1. For Ipswich, Jason Dole 3, Danny King 2, Adam Ellis 1 and a bonus, Tom Brennan 3, Emil Sarvudanov 2 and 1, Dan Thompson 6, and Jordan Jenkins 7. Al, what you got for us?
What have I got for you?
Yeah, what have you got for us?
Well, first of all, I would like to apologise for Dylan Colin Bencook, the wash number 1, because he went and won heat number 5
He's still crap.
and got a 4-2 over his brother with Richard Lawson to make the score 19-11. And then Bomber and Kvetch decided to throw a 5-1 to Brady Cuts
Bomber's awful, any at Belle Vue.
to make the score 24 points to 12 after 6.
Fair play. Gate stats. Gate 1 has had 4 wins. Gate 2 has had 1. Gate 3 has had 1. And Gate 4 has had 1 as well. Most points. Gates 1 and 2 are the favoured. Gates 3 and 4 are equal. What were you saying, Mr. Barb?
I'm glad we're watching this rather than Belle Vue TV.
Yeah, and me. This one's cheaper. And this meeting can, of course, be viewed on BSN.
Yes, it can.
We'll stay talking through this little track grade. They'll have the interval for the next one, and then we'll take a little breather for that. Birmingham have got really good this year at notching. Birmingham have been watching Rob Godfrey and Scunny. They've got really good at bombing through meetings.
Yeah, I mean we bombed through that CLRC yesterday, and we had track grades, which was
absolutely shocking behaviour, innit?
It is. But it was nice to have a meeting finish like longer than half an hour.
Yeah. And there was some really good racing. With all due respect to Workington, it started really, really slowly there Saturday, didn't it? Like
It did.
racing wise, it was just from the gate and 7-2s across the board in the first four. There was no real passing either from the first few, which is normal for Speedway, but you had it at Scunny last night and you had it in the first few here tonight, so it is possible.
Yeah, the Workington meeting started quite slowly, but I think we had action from Heat 1 yesterday, which was pretty cool, and it was quite nice to see a big crowd at Scunny as well yesterday.
Even though
I
you're
know
still on your crutches.
Yeah. Well, I do hope we have another big crowd on Good Friday when we have the double header. And I do believe that meeting Scunthorpe will be introducing a new centre green presenter.
Would that be you by any chance?
Well, I'll have a go. If they ask me, I'll have a go.
Lee Kilby interviewing Dan Thompson on BSN at the moment. And when you've got a team like this on both reserves, Dan's unbeaten from 2, JJ after a third in his first ride has gone back-to-back wins. You know, that's impressive.
Mm.
And to beat riders the calibre of Zagar, who I think he's beat twice now.
It's no mean feat.
Yeah, Zagar, for people have different opinions, but he's no slouch or anything like that.
Oh no, 100%.
And Alan had a nice Friday with his Ouija's going and winning at Edinburgh. He's dead.
Oh, you talking to me?
No, Alan mentioned you because I was talking to Palm. What?
Sorry, I was too engrossed in the score at Belle Vue. Sorry.
What's going on at Belle Vue now, Mush?
Well, we've just had Heat 7, and I'm sorry to say Dan Bewley won Heat 7.
Very enthralling.
But they did get a 3 each, a share of the spoils with Kings Lynn to make the score 27-15.
Has Tautschishki gone back to the Tautschishki of the weekend?
Yep, pretty much.
Because he was crap in both meetings the weekend.
It wasn't great.
I like the new merchandise that teams, well, the team wear, like the mechanic, all branded and stuff. Every team's got them. It all looks very professional this year, don't it, Palmer?
It does look very professional, but on the other hand, I do think, like, I appreciate they've got a deal with Custom It to do everybody's merch this year, and fair play to them for that. Every team's just looks so similar.
That's true, yeah. That is true.
Whereas, like, when you had different manufacturers, like you had Die Speed, you've got had Gareth as well. It was nice the clubs to have a little bit of difference in their style of team wear. Although I must say, though, this Ipswich top that I've got for this year is very comfortable.
Apologies, I'm sitting eating minstrels, Galaxy minstrels, because they are lovely. Now, last time out at home, Jonas Jeppesen was on a rocket ship in Heat 8, made a blinding gate and cleared off. He was somewhere in Solihull by the time the heat had finished. Hopefully he does the same again in this one from a Birmingham point of view.
I mean, he used his rocket ship in Heat 1. I don't know where we put it for Heat 6.
He lent
Maybe
it
put it in the van.
He lent it to somebody. And the lineup of Heat 8, this is why JJ went in for Adam Ellis, because he's got Gate 1 here in yellow, Gate 2 in blue, Jordan Jenkins, Gate 3 in white, Danny King, and off the outside in red, Jonas Jeppesen. Danny King is the lowest point scorer in this race.
Big up the one.
And there'll be no harm for Birmingham, or no shame if they do go on to lose this meeting. It's going to take a very good team to beat Ipswich this year. But I think the fans so far will be happy with, at least there's been racing, there's been passing, there's been action, and they're not too far out of it at the moment either.
No, to be fair, right, there is some positives to take from this. you know, Yepson being one, Keenan Rue's been all right, Zega's done all right. We've got a terrible number one, I have to say. But, you know, overall, there is positives Birmingham can take from this. The start match then about to walk away for heat number 8. State strides away. We've got a fairly even start, but it's the riders in white and yellow. That's Danny King and Jordan Jenkins that get to the front first. Jepson looking to come round the outside there of Jordan Jenkins, but to no avail at the moment. Although he has just done him on the line there. So what can Jenkins do now? Because Jenkins is he wasn't on a max. I thought he was. My apologies. It's a Monday. Please forgive me. But yeah, they're going to the next lap. Danny King then has the lead. He's been pushed all the way there by Jonas Jepson. Jason Edwards started to become a concern for Birmingham. I do believe, but yeah, Jordan Jenkins looks very comfortable there in third, and 1 lap left to go, and the big battle now is between Jonas Jepson and Danny King, and one big last gasp from Jonas Jepson, but it's not to be availed in Ipswich extend their lead.
Is it MJJ and Rue in the next one?
Correct.
So it's heat 11 when Vuelas is out again.
Correct.
That could be double figures. To see, I'd be using a tactical in place of Vuelas, but I wouldn't be waiting another 2 races to do it. The result of heat number 8 was a win for the rider in white, Danny King, second in red, Jonas Jepson, and third in yellow, Jordan Jenkins. I have to agree with what you've just said. Jason Edwards is a little bit of a concern for me. I've said this to you before this season. He's just not quite doing it yet, is he?
I mean, I think he always does start the season quite slow anyway, but yeah, it is starting to become a bit of a concern for the Brummies.
And we know how much talent Jace has got, there's no question about that, but as a rising star, you know, he's one of the more eye-catching names on the list, and he's just not doing it at the minute.
100%.
This will be an interesting one. Is this Mr. Dan Thompson out here?
I don't know, they all look the same.
Well, I think that's Dan Thompson, maybe.
It would help if it was Dan Thompson, because he's programmed to be in Heat 9 anyway.
He's the unbeaten rider at the moment.
Who'd have thought that?
Me, to be honest. It was nearly him that was my rider to watch.
Who's on the maximum? Not Doyley, not Emil. No, we've got Dan Thompson. Yeah.
Line-up of heat number 9. No, that's heat number 8's result. Line-up of heat 9 going off the inside gate in white, Emil Saivudanov. Gate 2 in blue, Keenan Rue. Gate 3 in yellow is Dan Thompson, and off the outside in red, Michael Jepson Jensen, who did look quicker last time out, it's got to be said.
And who would have thought after 2 races, Emma would only be on 2 paid 3.
Yeah. Keenan Rue looked impressive first time out, not quite so much last time. He'll be hoping to bounce back, but again, we've said this already tonight. There's no easy races in this Ipswich team.
Absolutely not.
If you paid a tenner to watch this, you wouldn't get a lot of change from him, that's for sure.
Only a tenner?
Well, if he gave one of the Ipswich boys a tenner, they wouldn't be giving you any change. I won't part with much cash. I'm a tight git, so it won't be much more than a tenner.
Got a point.
My missus always says I'm that tight I squeak.
Oh. Well, D&D viewers, have an insight into Dylan's life. You don't want one into mine. Tape strides anyway on heat number 9, and away we go. And yet again, it's that man Dan Thompson that's made a good start, but it's the rider in blue, Keenan Rue. That rhymes. That has the lead. Big battles going on at the back. Emil Saivudanov going really. He just wanted to go to Asda, didn't he? But Michael Jepson Jensen now starting to put some pressure on Dan Thompson. Where the bloody hell is Emil going? If he went any further wider, he'd be coming to your house for a cup of tea, Dill. This is a very, very solid ride from Keenan Rue here out in front. Jepson Jensen not really looking like he's going to be challenging Dan Thompson at all, but we've got one lap left to
I
go.
think Emil's retired.
Emil's pulled up. We've seen him on the infield, but a solid ride from Keenan Rue, who's proved another 3 points to his former employers.
And Dan Thompson's maximum goes. Jepson Jensen started that race well. It looks a tad bit dusty there now, to be honest. Keenan Rue, no parade. Now, this would be harsh on Jepson, and I think they'll probably wait till the next one. But does Chris Adams play a tactical here, or does he wait and take out Vuelas from Heat 11 and put Rue or, well, probably Rue with Zagar?
I mean, to be honest, the way this is going, I'd take Muslek out of 10.
Yeah, they won't. Muslek's just come on the track. The result of Heat 9 was a win for the rider in blue, Keenan Rue. Second in yellow, Dan Thompson. And third in red, Michael Jepson Jensen. Closes the gap back to 6 at 24 points to 30. And tactical substitute is still open. Emil made a shocking start then. Keenan Rue just got over him. He just got over him. Gave Dan a little heave-ho into no man's land, and that was all she wrote. I thought Jepson Jensen was going to do both of them for a second.
100%. And to be fair, looking at the programme, if Birmingham was to do a tactical, I think this Heat 10 would be the race to do it when against Adam Ellis and Tom Brennan.
I don't think they will. I wouldn't be taking Jepson stays in. Jepson's in, so there's no tactical here. Who's it against in the next one? Doyle and Danner?
Doyle and King.
Don't get any easier, does it? Tom Brennan
really?
has gone to the wrong gate. Now we need Muslek to turn up to the party here. He's off gate 4, which hasn't really worked. Keenan Rue's just won off gate 2. So the full lineup off E10 going off the inside gate in yellow, Tom Brennan. Gate 2 in blue, Jonas Jepson. Gate 3 in white, Adam Ellis. And off the outside in red is Tobias Muslek. Jonas Jepson, highest point scorer in this one. Tom Brennan's been quiet, like you said earlier, but he can flip it on a 2p, can't he? You know what I mean? He can turn it on at any moment. Toby needs to wake up a bit.
And again, he's probably the weak link of the Ipswich team, but Adam can
turn it on at any given point as well.
He can, yeah.
He's not a former British champion by accident, is he?
No, he is not.
And I want to say, coming up in the very near future, we've got that British semi-final watch-along from Leicester as well. Is that like the first weekend in May, maybe? Or Thursday, first Thursday?
The British semi-finals the 1st of May, I'm sure it is. But anyway, tapes rides then for heat number 10, and away we go. It's Tom Brennan that hits that lead, and the two Brummies go quite wide there, and Adam Ellis has not really been able to take advantage of that. Although Jepson now putting Brennan under some pressure here. Ellis gets underneath Tobias Muslek now, and can Toby do anything about Adam?
Go on, Jepson!
Jepson! Oh, carnage there.
Nah, I don't think he's done anything wrong there, if I'm honest. Reds have come on quickly, though. He might go for that. I think Brennan was in control and then came off. He steams hard under him, but in my mind, Brennan was in control and then just stacked it. Be interested to see the replay of that, though. But the Reds came on really quickly. He does steam up the inside. He's got a lot more speed, but for me, Brennan sees it coming. There isn't actually any contact. There's no contact. Brennan's still in control there. Brennan's gone on his own. From that camera angle, here's the angle we want, but from that one, there's no contact. There's none there either. Brennan's still in control at the point he comes up. He's still in control there. Look, and now he stacks it himself. Brennan should go for me for that.
Be interested to see what Seth Perkins thinks.
This is the angle where you can see no contact at all in it. No, there's no contact at all there. And Brennan's still in control after, and he goes himself. And the refs are allowed to watch replays from BSN now, so I imagine he's going to be looking at these.
Yeah,
See, nothing. There's nothing there. But with how quickly the Reds came on, it could be Jepsen that goes for that.
I mean, if
Tom Brennan has been disqualified. Tom Brennan is the rider that's out, and for my money, that's the correct decision. There's no contact, and when Jepsen comes under him, he's still in control, and then goes down himself. Absolutely the correct decision for me, that. And I'd say that if it had gone the other way as well. If it had been a Brummie that came down.
Yeah, no, it was definitely the right call there. Yeah.
Interested to hear Alan's thoughts on that one.
Not very often refs get the right call this day and age, so fair play to Zachary.
It does make it easier when they can watch replays. Al?
I was just going to say the referee got it spot on there.
Well, we're all in agreement. That does not happen very often.
I wasn't even looking like literally turning to see. I could see the slightest of contact, but there just wasn't anything.
There's nothing in it. There's no contact whatsoever. And if it had been the other way around, I'd have said the same thing as well.
Absolutely.
I want to tell BSN there was a dragonfly right near the camera. Any update from the viewer Bella while we've got a minute?
Yes, we do have a couple of updates from the view of Belle. So, since heat number 6, if I'm on the right heat. So heat number 7 was won by Dan Bewley, Nikolai Clint and Niels Christian Everson backing it up for a 3-3, making the score 27-15.
Is that another last place for Zishka?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Heat number 8 didn't go well for Kings Lynn. Ladon and Mulford taking a 5-1 over Lawson and Bowden, with Lawson finishing at the back.
Boo.
And heat number 9, Lidsey winning heat number 9 with Kovac and Harris actually managed to score some points.
Brennan's in the booth now. He's smiling. I think he knows that's the right call. Be interesting to listen to this, but obviously we're live and don't want a thing. But I think even if Brennan says at this point that it's wrong, when he watches it back, he'll see it's right. He's got a smile on his face. It's one of them. But as Mr. Peasley's just said in our big group chat, Dorothy Perkin has got it spot on. And it's being rerun. This is where Adam Ellis traps and wins it, isn't it? The rerun of heat number 10 will be run with the disqualification of the rider in yellow, Tom Brennan, so nobody off gate 1, Jonas Jepsen gate 2, Adam Ellis gate 3 in white, and Tobias Michelet gate 4 in red. I hope Adam don't win it, I won't lie to you, my old fruit.
Adam Ellis, my hero. No, he probably won't win it. This is Toby's time to shine. If Toby doesn't win this, then there's something seriously wrong, and James Jessup would be a better number 1 for Birmingham.
Absolutely not. Get out.
Up with Jessup.
He's not even the number 1 commentator for Scorpions TV.
I know, they're number 1.
The other idiot's not either.
So tapes rise there for heat number 10 in the way. We go to Leicester and start there for Jonas Jepsen there in the blue helmet colour. Ellis there in the second position with Musial really struggling to come to grips with this Birmingham track there in third. He's putting some pressure on Adam, but he just can't seem to get around Adam at the current point of time. But Yepson's having a really good night, and it's having a really good race at the moment. This from Tobias Musial has got to be really, really concerning for Birmingham.
He's shit. He's awful.
For those that don't allow explicit language in the living room, he's not very good. But as we come to the next, the bigger challenges now on Yepson from Adam Ellis there. But I think Yepson's just about got enough in the tank to get this going. But Musial looking to storm up the inside there of Adam Ellis. Oh, obviously Adam's ridden with Toby for a few seasons and knows exactly what Toby was going to do.
I'd definitely retract my previous statement about Ben Cook. Birmingham have got the worst number one in the league. The result of heat number 10 was a win for the rider in blue, Jonas Jeppesen, second in white, Adam Ellis, who did have some speed on him there, and third in red, Tobias Musial. Good result for Ipswich that, because Brummies are now out of tactical territory with a 4-2 and makes it 28-32 after 10. I think there's an interval after the next one. I don't know how Adam Ellis made a gate this bad and Toby still couldn't get past him.
Well, Toby was his second going into the first bend.
I don't know what he went out there for. What was he doing?
Adam was just on the right line.
Oh, I think Alan's died.
Rest in peace.
I'd be seriously
I'm still alive.
I'd be contemplating putting Jason in here for Viewlass because he's the lesser of two evils.
You've got a point. But then again, race doesn't get any easier.
Who's this one? Danny and Doyle?
Yeah.
No pressure, Mr. Zagar. Viewlass stays out. Brummies off 1 and 3. If ever there's a time for Zagar to turn up, this is it.
Now is the time.
Yeah. The line-up of heat number 11, I think this is the last one before the interval. Going off the inside gate in red, Matty Zagar. Gate 2 in white, Jason Doyle. Gate 3 in blue, Anti-Viewlass. And off the outside in yellow, Danny King. And when you've got a rider like Danny King, or with Kings Lynn having Richard Lawson at number 2, that's some serious experience at what is essentially the main body reserve, so to speak.
Oh, 100%. You know, you could consider Adam in there as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's a lot of experience there, and it's all going to count throughout the season.
Jeppesen for me at the moment, and has done enough to get himself at least in the conversation for 8.15, to be honest. 8 points from 4 rides.
Given Brewer, there's only 2 for me that deserve it for
and Zagar's there or thereabouts as well.
But they've had more than 2 rides. Zagar's only had 2, so see what happens here in heat number 11. And take Zagar's away with go. Zagar's gated really well. Fair play to the
no.
Where the bloody hell is Danny King going?
Straight past Viewlass.
If someone wants to tell Danny King red car's the other direction,
Viewlass is holding on.
But Viewlass is holding on here to Danny King. But I think Viewlass has just got the right line here, and the big challenge now is from Doyley on Matty Zagar, who's out there in the front position.
Viewlass is pressuring Doyley.
Viewlass is starting to put some pressure here on Jason Doyle. Who would have thought would have been saying that at 20-9 on Monday evening on the 7th of April. But as we come round Ben's 3 of
Whoa! Whoa!
Jesus Christ.
The Reds are on. I don't think Zagar's done anything wrong there. This will be an interesting one. The Reds had came on, I'm sure they're not on now. I don't think Zagar's done anything wrong.
That'll be awarded, that.
Him and Doyle have just acknowledged. I think Doyle just got too close. I don't think there'll be any post-race exclusions there, to be honest.
There shouldn't be.
There shouldn't be. Doyle just had a bit too
That-
much
that'll
speed
be
and
a-
got too close. There was an acknowledgement. There was no malice
That'll
in
be
that or
awarded.
nothing.
I'm sure.
Doyle did remarkable to hold on because I thought that was going to end in tears.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a chain.
No, Zagar held his line. Doyle nearly ran into the back of him. He had to scrub it off, and I think he's going to need a change
it
of
all-
underpants.
Almost like a Lewis Kerr situation.
Similar, yeah.
Worthington.
But for me, Zagar just held his line, and I don't think there'll be any post-race repercussions on that one, to be honest. And I think Doyley knows that. I think he'll just be happy to get away with not coming off there, because that would have been high speed. And it is a 5-1 to Birmingham with a win for the rider in red, Matty Zagar. Second in blue, Antivulas, and third in yellow, Danny King. Jason Doyle withdraws from the race, and it's 33 apiece after 11. I think both riders knew there was no real malice in that. It was Doyle just had a bit too much speed, and when we see it back in a second, Doyle had to scrub it off. And as we all know with speedway bikes, when you scrub off, they initially sort of bite and speed up for a second, don't they?
Yes, they do.
And Doyle looked
Good to
relieved
see,
to be walking back.
Good to see Doyle up and about.
He didn't come off. I think he'll need some new underpants. I thought he was going around the greyhound track.
Never mind him. I need new underpants.
And we have got some track grading. If we'll wait and see a replay. Yeah, here's the replay now. Zagar's not done anything wrong. Doyle's just got a bit more speed. He actually hits Zagar's back wheel, gets out of shape. That would have been a high speed crash. Held that well, and then nearly goes over the centre grid. Blimey. That's some skill to hold on to that. And having seen the replay, I'm even more convinced that there was nothing wrong from Zagar there, to be honest.
There was nothing wrong with either of the riders, to be fair.
Just racing.
Could have been
carnage, though.
So nasty, though.
Could have been carnage, that. And that shows the skill of Doyle to not only hold on to it, but to scrub it off and keep it upright as well.
100%.
But Birmingham about level.
Who'd have thought?
Anything from Belle Vue, my old China?
Well, my old China, we've had 2 heats at Belle Vue since I last spoke. So heat number 10 was won by Brady Cuts, with Niels Christian Everson second and Nordic Bladorn third. Here at Plymouth fan, Nicola Clint's not doing very well. And in heat number 11, it was won by Dan Bewley, with Ben Cook and Richard Lawson taking the middle 2 places for a 3-3 to make the current score 42 to Belle Vue, 24 to Kings Lynn.
Thank you very much, Al.
No problem.
Mr. Jepperson and Mr. Muschleck having a conversation there. Mr. Zagar's just come down to Jepperson's bike. There's a real togetherness in this Brummies team that there wasn't last year, and it's nice to see after last year as well. Yeah, Toby's having a shocker of a night, and he's still there rallying around everybody as well. Proper captain's role, innit?
He's just a Polish Simon Lambert.
He's stocky like Si as well, to be fair.
I bet he doesn't have 40 fags and 20 cans of Red Bull on the race day now.
And I will buy that meeting on Wednesday, so we'll get to watch Simon Lambert in action with the Scorpions at Oxford if you want to watch that, Palmer.
Oh, go on then. I can't wait to hype myself up with anticipation just to be disappointed to lose to bloody Oxford.
Keenan Roo's got a smile on his face. He's been a breath of fresh air since coming to Brum as well, to be honest. Riders can get too comfortable. Steve Worrell said that in the past about clubs, and I think the move away from Ipswich has done Keenan Roo good as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's probably been the biggest improver in the league compared to his form from last season. So, fair play to the guy.
He looks every bit a heat leader in this Brum. I know Toby's having a bit of a mare, and Jepsen Jensen's not been great, but for me, Keenan Roos stepping up to cover for them in some situations.
And going by his score tonight, so is Jackson.
And there's a lot of banter between him and Jepperson as well. They get on well. And the Aussies always bring banter to a team, don't they? You have it with Jake at Scunner.
Yeah, Jake and the Kennedys are always having a bit of a laugh and a giggle. But at the end of the day, I know these guys turn up there to race the bikes, but
They're all pals, aren't
it
they?
always helps in a work environment if you get on with everybody.
That's
It
it,
just
yeah.
makes life that much easier for us all.
And Speedway is that bizarre sport. Footballers, a couple of them will get on, but not quite. Speedway riders, the majority of them get on. The fans, most of them get on as well and mingle. It really is like no other sport, apart from maybe hockey, dare we say.
I think for accessibility and that Speedway is a better sport than hockey. Charlotte, if you're listening, I'm sorry, I love you, but I have to speak the truth. But yeah, it's, name me another sport where you can just go to a preparation area and just tap one of the sportsmen on the back and go, "Hey up, pal, how we doing?"
Tom's got his phone out. I wonder if he's watching back that heat. Was it 10?
Nah, it's just texting the missus to say that he's all right.
I hope he don't text holding his phone sideways, to be honest.
And gives him a bigger keyboard. And
considering Doyley and Emil, and to be fair, Tom as well, not having the most great nights, Ipswich are doing really well. You've got JJ and Dan stepping up. Adam Ellis looked better in his last one as well, and Danny King's done an okay job in at number 2 as well.
I mean, who would have thought Danny King would have scored more than Doyley and Emil combined?
Interesting. One of the people commenting on BSN asking why Danny King went for 2 and 4 when they won the toss.
Who knows?
Riders obviously see something different on track walk, don't they?
They know what they're doing when they're doing the gardening.
You have to have every gate, don't you? So just get some out of the way earlier. Jordan Jenkins now being interviewed by Lee Kilby. He's been a difference maker in this, and Dan Thompson as well.
Oh, 100%.
When you've got a rising star scoring 8 points, and I'd expect him to keep his last programme ride as well, if I'm honest.
Oh, 100%. Can't disagree with that.
You got both reserves on 8 points, albeit Dan Thompson from a ride less. It's it's going to be tough, and when you've got your number 1 and 5 not having great meetings, you've got reserves that'll step up and cover it.
Looking at the Ipswich team sheet, if it had to be the top 2 scorers in 8-15, both reserves are going in.
Honestly, I could see both of these being in the main body before long, and Danny King and Adam Ellis maybe being the 2 at reserve.
Oh,
Imagine that for the Heat 2 partnership to go against. And we both know JJ is a really nice fella. It's nice to see him coming back from a pretty serious injury and doing well again, because we've both got a lot of time for him.
Yeah, 100% got all the time in the world for Jordan. Obviously, I've known him about 10 years now. We always have a bit of a laugh, but we giggle when he's up at Scunny. So, yeah, it's nice to see him doing really well.
And Belle Vue fans thought that the Brummies would lose by more than they did against Ipswich. Well, we've got 10 points more already, and there's still 4 to go. 5 to go. 4 to go? 12's next, isn't it? 4 to go.
Well, you were just shy.
What's this? Talking of Belle Vue, Al?
What's the scores on the doors?
He's dead.
Scores on the doors at Belle Vue is Belle Vue 42, Kings Lynn 24.
Have we had no other races since you last spoke?
We're less way up to Heat 12, so they must be on an interval.
Ah, fair enough. The Ipswich boys all having a chinwag. I'd be interested to hear from Doyley, to be honest, after that one. If Mr. Kilby can grab him.
He's probably in his band changes his underpants.
Oh, Tom Brennan's damaged or done something. Oh, his button, his number won't clip onto his Kevlars. Jordan Jenkins trying to clip it on. I do like them Kevlars. I really like them Kevlars.
They're nice, are
They are. Ipswich do a lot right. A lot of Ipswich fans say they don't like the black and fluorescent yellow. I think it stands out. I think it looks really nice.
It works to me.
I think Tom Brennan is watching BSN. Tom was watching BSN there. He was watching himself, stood there looking at the track.
Well, if he's got access to it, he may as well watch it.
Be nice if they'd put a touch of water down. There's a blue groove there.
Water as well. Who do you think you are, Rob Godfrey?
Well, they notoriously don't like to water at Brum, to be fair. Although the water truck is turned on and it's got its light flashing, so maybe John is going to come out and put some H20 down.
He's just done that to make sure the light works.
I'd have been interested to see, actually, if that weren't the last lap when, or just coming into the last lap when Doyley got out of shape and he obviously parked it on the first turn. I'd have been interested to see. They'd just gone into the last lap yet, so both Brummies were already clear. It would have been interesting to see if it had been rerun, if it had to be stopped.
I don't think it would have been.
No, I don't think it would either, but you never do know, do you?
Not with speedway referees these days. I have to be very careful with what I say. I've just realised, because I'm in a position of work at a club.
Yeah. And there's been some entertainment. The fans have definitely been entertained tonight.
It's been a decent meeting.
And it's a good crowd, considering it's a BSN meeting as well. Obviously, Birmingham were never going to get the biggest of crowds in for this one with it being on BSN. But it's a decent crowd, to be fair.
I've noticed this, so I think the only meeting that I've seen that's had a typically poor crowd was Belle Vue versus Ipswich.
Yeah, it weren't a great crowd, was it, that? And that's 2-0 now, isn't it? The Ipswich have got over Belle Vue.
Yes, it is.
But it's only the cup, and we don't want to win the cup. Wow.
Trophy's a trophy. A trophy is as much as a trophy. Like 20 quid is as much as 20 quid.
Kilby now having a chinwag with Chris Adams. Jason Edwards is in blue in Heat 12. I think he was programmed for that anyway, so that's no surprise.
Yeah, he is programmed.
To be fair, this Brum team has potential if the two reserves click, and hopefully that'll do Viewlass's confidence some good as well. That paid win then. Adam Ellis having a chinwag.
Looks a bit like Harry Potter.
100%. A bit like I'd have gone up to him and asked where Hermione is. Adam Ellis having a chinwag with Keenan Rue by the pit gate. And Chris Libby.
Just to separate the French Keenan Rue to the Australian Keenan Rue, that is.
They do look scarily similar, don't they?
Maybe they're cousins in the past life.
Chris having a nice cup of coffee. I won't be drinking coffee at 9 o'clock at night, though, I won't lie to you. We were going to take a break, but they'll be cracking on soon, so we may as well just stay on now, haven't we?
We may as well stay on.
And yeah, so we'll do Oxford versus Scunny. I think it's a championship meeting, isn't it, on Wednesday?
Knockout Cup.
No, championship knockout cup. Bit of practice then.
You know, it's the cup that
Belle Vue fans don't want.
Belle Vue don't want.
And there is, we've said this, well, I've said it, there's a together, look, you've got Jepperson and Jensen and Smiley Jace having a chinwag there with the track grading going on. We know this from behind the scenes, but the camaraderie and the togetherness in a team can really make a difference as well.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like, I'm convinced.
Is that Michael Palmtoft? That looks like Michael Palmtoft with Dan, or maybe it's not. It looks like him.
No, I think it is.
Oh, I think it is, yeah. think
Yeah, it is.
it's
That's
definitely
definitely
Michael
his face.
Palmtoft, yeah.
It's definitely a face only a mother could love.
I think it's Michael Palmtoft.
Good to still see Tofty around the speedway circles, even if he's not able to race because nobody wants him.
Emil and Adam Ellis just having a chinwag when Emil gets off that little grass verge. Hey, there's some H20 going down.
Big up the H20.
Only in the corners though, because you know who needs it on the straights anyway, right? And only out
Hey,
on the wide line where nobody's gonna go. But at
exactly.
least it's going down. It's the thought that counts. Quick run through the scorers. Tobias Mischlek 3 from 3. Jonas Epperson 8 from 4. Marco Epson Jensen 3 from 3. Keenan Roof 7 and a bonus from 3. Matti Zagar 7 from 3. Antivulas 2 and 1 from 3. Jason Edwards 3 and 1 from 3. Do you want to do the Ipswich boys, Palmer?
So, Jason Daw, 3 points. Danny King, 6 points. Adam Ellis, 3 plus 1. Tom Brennan, 3. And also Futinoff, 2 plus 1. Don Thompson, 8. Jordan Jenkins, 8.
I like what BSN have done here. They haven't put the 2 minutes exclusion in on Adam Ellis, so because obviously some fans might see that as he's had his 3 rides and he obviously hasn't because he was replaced. So I do
Yeah.
like that.
I always have to write it in my program.
I have to write it in. It feels like a thing, but some people, you know, you see 3, you think, oh, they've had their 3 rides, and obviously for reserve replaces them, they haven't. So I like that. It keeps it simple, don't it?
Yeah, it does. And fair play to BSN. They've really up the game this year.
Yeah.
Fair play to them.
Look at that reserve power though from Ipswich. It's ridiculous. It's Birmingham's sort of lower end power and Zagar with middle order power with Jepperson and Rue and Zagar versus the two Belle Vue Ipswich reserves and to an extent Danny King as well. The Heat leader's not quite with it yet.
No.
And Adam Ellis did look quicker in the rerun of whichever one he was in. 10?
Heat number 10.
Yeah, when Tom was excluded. So there is, there is something to take from that as well for an Ipswich fan. So who are they against in this one? Is it Jepsen, Jensen, and Edwards?
Edwards.
Yeah, it's number 4 and 6 in 14, isn't it? So it's
3
Adam
and
Ellis
2.
and JJ.
Dan Thompson.
Oh, Dan. Adam Ellis and Dan versus Jepsen, Jensen, and JJ. Adam and Jepsen Jensen are having a chinwag now. Speedway's a funny old game, innit? Gate wins. Gate 1 is the place you want to be. Gate 4's the place you don't want to be. Who's got Gate 1 and 4 in this one? Reminds me of a Scunny meeting, this.
Oh, Scuddy meeting Gate 4's got all the points.
From the start, yeah, but it goes shizer after. Most points, Gates 1 and 2 are tied on 18 apiece. Gate 3, 17. Gate 4, Graveyard, 13. Who's off 4?
Adam Ellis.
Might as well put the 0 in now. Although, if anyone's going to make a gate and win from 4, it's going to be him.
I'll put the 1 in there. I think he'll beat Smiley Jace because he's been quite concerning for Birmingham considering his experience.
Adam Ellis is now having a chinwag with Jonas Epperson. Adam Ellis, I better just stand and have a chinwag for hours with a beer in one hand, a packet of pork scratchings in the other hand.
That's like a good night out to me.
It does,
Yeah, we had a good chinwag in his van a couple of years ago.
I think while we've got a minute, we will just take a breather, even if it's just a minute. Al, what were you just telling me and Palmer?
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you Plymouth fans, but Nikolai Clint's just been taken out of heat number 12 and replaced by Niels Christian Everson.
There is a world where Nikolai Clint could end up going to reserve for Kings Lynn.
And this is that world we are living in.
I think that's definitely Michael Palmtree with Dan Thompson as well. Hopefully, if teams make mid-season changes, nobody ever obviously wants to see someone lose a job, but hopefully, Michael Palmtoft will be a rider that comes back. He's not the worst rider in the world.
I could potentially see him going up north to Berwick.
Potentially, especially if what we've heard about a certain rider is true.
And we heard it from a very reliable source.
And Michael Jepsen Jensen's off the favoured gate 1, so it's bound to have its stats ruined. He's looked okay when he's got going, but he still can't gate.
So it's going to be a very interesting heat number 12, and if you could text Lawrence, I'd be appreciated if they could hurry the meeting up, because I'm getting hungry now and I want my tea.
They do generally go quite quick. They've got some second half action after this as well, so they're obviously gonna want to get it on with 59 minutes until the curfew.
Yeah, we'll fly through these next few races. The second half will be on track at about 9:30.
Adam Ellis off the unfavoured gate 4, but as we said earlier, did look quicker in his last outing. So if he can make a gate, I think all the dirt will have been pulled back to the inside, so it's probably going to be a race for that inside off 1. So Jepsen Jensen will probably try and go around the boards. Not to be confused with the podcast.
No.
So heat number 12 at the line, going off the inside gate in red, Mark Jepsen Jensen. Gate 2 in yellow, Dan Thompson. Gate 3 in blue, Jason Edwards. Off the outside in white, Adam Ellis.
Start master all the way, the green light comes on and the tapes go up, away we go. What a blistery start from Adam Ellis, but it's Jepsen Jensen that gets there first, and it's Jepsen Jensen that has the lead as we predicted, with Smiley Jace there struggling towards the rear of the field. Now Adam Ellis goes really wide there, and it's not really worked out for him. He's gone on holiday, he's gone to no man's land.
There's nothing out there.
He may as well just stick to inside and just think Adams. Oh, well, I thought he had bite troubles there, but turns out Dan Thompson just wanted to give a bit of a snog. But
A love tap, as Rory calls it.
if someone wants to tell Adam Ellis going that far wide, nearly kissing the fence, it didn't work for Doyley, it isn't going to work for him. But he saved it well. But this is a promising ride here from Michael Jepsen Jensen for the Birmingham supporters.
I can safely tell you one thing after this, as soon as you call him home.
Jason Edwards' form is very concerning for Birmingham.
I am 100% no doubt about it changing my rising star in that fantasy league. Good ride from Jepsen Jensen, made that inside gate count. Of Ipswich got 1 and 3 in 13.
Yeah.
And his Zagar off 4.
Yeah.
Oh no. The result of heat number 12 was a win for the rider in red, Michael Jepsen Jensen. I think that was his first win around Perry Bar. Second in yellow, Dan Thompson, and third in white, Adam Ellis. Jason Edwards, like you said there, is really becoming a concern for me. This is a big race, and Zagar and Doyley meet again. And as we said in real time, there was no malice, they acknowledged each other and stuff, it was just racing, but you know, you always make a little mental note of it, don't you?
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't think there'll be any quarters asked or given from Doyley to anybody in this one, although Doyley's known for being a ruthless rider at the best of times. But so is Zagar. I remember the scrap he had with Nicky Pedersen.
Nicky Pedersen, what a hero.
And it's Doyley off 1, Toby off gate 2 in red, Emil off gate 3 in yellow, and Mr. Zagar off the side in blue. Scores are tied at 36 apiece. this could be a deciding race, this.
It very much could. And from an Ipswich fanboy, fair play to Birmingham for keeping it as close as what they have done so far.
Everybody expected Birmingham to get turned over tonight, and they could still lose, but they've kept it respectable for 12 races.
I expected a 20-point Ipswich win here, I'm not going to lie. But no, fair play to the Brummies.
I do think this is the one where Doyley and Emil both turn up, though.
It's about time they got the backside to the party, really.
Interesting to see Doyley's not got his bowl helmet on. He's got an old-looking helmet on. Reckon that's one that he had in the van as a spare, and his bowl one was smashed up or something.
Maybe.
Because I want to say he was in white when he crashed at Oxford in the Ben Fund. That's definitely an old one, though. If ever there's a time for Mr. Captain of the Brummies to turn up, this is that time.
Now is the time. So Start Marshall walks away for a big 813. Tapes rise, away we go, and it's Doyley that gets to the first turn first, and Emil Seifutinof's joined there with him, but Muzilak up the inside there of Emil, and now Zagar looking to go up the inside there as well. Emil now going all the way round the outside there. Can he make it work? It's not quite worked just yet. But Emil trying again now on this next bend as they go down the back straight, and Toby's now just gaining a lead over Emil. The outside line is not working here today, and if anything, Matty Zagar's closing in on Emil Seifutinov, but Jason Doyle's holding the right line here with Muzilak there in second, and Emil still there in third, being chased all the way by Matty Zagar. So I think this is pretty much what we expected from 813, to be fair.
Zagar's packed up.
One lap to go. Zagar's packed up to the surprise of absolutely nobody, because he always does that when he don't gate and is at the back. But it's a second win of the day for Doyley.
It was always going to be tough for Zagar off that graveyard, to be honest. Gate 4 was awful tonight.
I mean, you've got a point.
Who's on Gate 4 in 14?
Jordan Jenkins.
Oof, if anyone on this form can turn that Gate 4 around, it's him.
But yeah, Zagar's notoriously got a bit of a history of getting to a point where his last two just thought, sod this, I'll give up.
E13, one for the rider in white, Jason Dorr, second in red, Tobias Muzilak, and third in yellow, Emil Seifutinov. The Brummies need to hit back in 14 to take it to a last heat. And with Keenan Rue in there, that'll probably be the point Tom Brennan turns up and gets it right. Tom's off Gate 2, I imagine, and is Viewlass off 1 by any chance?
Viewlass is off 1 and Rue's off 3.
Come on, Harry Potter. Dan Thompson is in here for Mr. Jenkins.
If you would like to...
That's harsh on Jordan Jenkins. That's very harsh on Jordan Jenkins.
So it's not Jordan Jenkins in yellow, it's Dan Thompson then.
Yeah, that's definitely the old palm tree. Although Jordan's had 4 rides, I don't think he deserves to be taken out, if I'm honest.
Dan's had 4 rides as well, to be fair, so they've both had equal rides.
I think it's harsh on JJ, that. Great from our fantasy league team, unless it comes last, but line up at half heat number 14, then going off the inside gate in blue, Anti-Viewlass, gate 2 in white, Tom Brennan, gate 3 in red, Keenan Rue, and off the outside in yellow, reserve change for the Witches, Dan Thompson. Lot of impetus on Keenan Rue to make that gate 3 work here.
There is.
But there will be some confidence in Anti-Viewlass as well after that last one, because even though Doyley obviously had the issues he had, Anti-Viewlass was close enough to capitalise on it and was putting pressure on Doyley through the race before then as well. So whatever changes he made to that bike worked. 2 races left at Birmingham, 38.40 the scores with 2 to go. It's been an alright meeting, this, Palmer.
It's been an enjoyable meeting. I'd probably sit and watch it again when I get bored. So, Heat 14, here we go. He's starting to walks away. The tapes rise and the right to go. And it's the Ipswich boys that make it. And Dan Thompson's made that gate four work. And he's the one that's currently joint first as they go neck and neck down the back straight. So it's Dan Thompson that leads them coming into the second lap. He's followed by Tom Brennan with Keenan Rue there in the third place position. Rue's now got to have to try absolutely everything to get around this Ipswich pairing with the antivirus at the back of the field here. He's really, really struggled
Few lasses off, that's an heavy crash.
Few lasses on his bottom.
That was heavy. Reds are on. They were on the third lap. I think it can be awarded. That was an heavy crash there for Viewlass, and he's hit the wooden fence on the home straight. I think the ref might award that. I think he's allowed to do it in the third and fourth lap, innit? And
Rue wasn't looking like challenging.
Keenan Rue was nowhere near, yeah. Viewlass could be hurt there. He's given that fence a right clout. I'd imagine the ref will award that as a 5-1 to Ipswich, and if he does, that will give him the win on the night.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't, that's a massive fucking bolster for
Language!
Soz. Just slipped out. Can't remember what I was going to say now.
It's a booster for Keenan Rue because he made an awful start in the initial staging.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I don't think it'll be rerun, if I'm honest. I mean, from a Birmingham fan point of view, I hope it is. I think it'd be harsh on Ipswich if it was, though. There were 2.5 laps in. I know you can award a rider in red's gone off the track. I think it's being awarded. Although his bike's still there at the minute. Ipswich boys have left the track.
Can I just jump out? I just noticed on BSN it says it's been awarded.
I ain't surprised by that.
I'd let you know.
And the result of heat number 14 was a win for the rider in yellow, Dan Thompson, second in white, Tom Brennan, and third in red, Keenan Rue. That wraps up the win on the night for the Ipswich Witches, with 1 to go and Viewlass excluded. Neruda they put in 15. Anything from Belle Vue, Al?
So from Belle Vue, I last left you at the Niels Christian Everson tax sub, and that heat was won by Jamin Lindsay, with Niels Christian Everson in second and Chris Harris taking third. That 3-3 made the score 45 to Belle Vue, 27 to Kings Lynn. Heat number 13 was a 5-1 to Belle Vue, to the surprise of nobody, with Brady Cutts winning and Dan Bewley second and Ben Cook in third to make the score 50-28. And Heat 14, that's the wrong one, Alan.
That's the wrong
Nearly. Jake Mulford came in blue for Tate Zitschke, and it was a win for Zach Cook in red, with Niels Christian Everson in second and Jake Mulford in third, to make the scores going into 15-54 to Belle Vue, 30 to Kings Lynn. But Ashton Bowson at the back again.
Oh, that's an heavy one for Viewlass, that. He's walking back. That was a big impact there. That's not where you want to be hitting the fence.
Not really.
You don't want to hit the wooden kickboards anywhere, do you? But especially there. And Birmingham have now lost mathematically on the night, but I think it's been a good effort from the Brummies, unless Ipswich get a 5-1 to make it 50-40. I think that'd be harsh on Birmingham. I think they've been a lot better value than a 10-point win would suggest for Ipswich.
There's positives Birmingham can take from this tonight.
I mean, it's a worry that the number one's only got, 5 points?
Yes.
And the reserves have got about 5 between them.
5 paid 7.
Yeah, that's not good enough. It's just
However,
not good enough.
The opposite number one's only scored 6 points.
Yeah,
We've
the
only got
reserves,
one more.
but the opposite reserves have scored about 23.
Yeah, 20 paid 21.
Yeah, the difference
That's
there
where the
is
meeting's been won and lost.
100%. Birmingham's reserves are a massive concern for me. Jefferson Jensen's gone to see if you lasses alright. Zagar's gone to see if he's alright. But like you say, there is positives to be taken from this result.
I mean, as daft as it sounds, when I was watching the Birmingham Leicester meeting a couple of weeks ago, as daft as it sounds because Birmingham got annihilated, there was a couple of positives to take. I can't remember what they were because I haven't watched it since. But there was a couple of positives to take from the meeting. So,
Yeah.
they're taking steps forward, even though the results on track aren't necessarily showing at the current point of time.
I'd be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised to see Dan Thompson in 8-15, to be honest. Quick run through the scores. Tobias Mitchell at 5, Jonas Jepson 8, Marco Jepson Instant 6, Keenan Root 8 plus 1, Matty Zagar 7, Antivulas 2 plus 1, Jason Edwards 3 plus 1, for Ipswich Jason Dawes 6, Danny King 6, Adam Ellis 4 plus 2, Tom Brennan 5 plus 1, Emil Sarvudanov 3 plus 1, Dan Thompson 13, Jordan Jenkins 8. For me, I'd probably say Tom Brennan and Dan Thompson would be the two for Ipswich, but I think it'll probably be at least Doyle. Emil's not been great, to be honest, but I reckon he'll probably still be in. For the Brummies, Jonas Jepperson, although that's a big break. Michael Jepson Jensen looked decent in the last one. I think Jordan Jenkins has got the white helmet. I think they're going to put both reserves in here.
I think they should, the two highest scorers of the.
Jordan Jenkins is
game.
definitely in white. Was that what Richie Hawkins promised JJ? Then we'll take you out of
Maybe because it doesn't look like Dan Thompson's got. Or is it Dan Thompson picking an helmet up?
Dan Thompson and Jordan Jenkins in 8-15, and that is absolutely thoroughly deserved as well.
100%.
So Jordan Jenkins goes in white, Dan Thompson goes in yellow, and when you've got Emil Sarvudanov and Doyley and Tom Brennan not doing 15, that's some going for the Ipswich boys, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them win here. They are off the tougher gates because I imagine Brum will take 1 and 3. Birmingham have got choice with Danny King winning the toss earlier, and that just goes to show just how good these two have been.
It really shows the strength that Ipswich have got from top to bottom.
100%. And to be fair, tonight it's been the bottom that's done it.
Like the top 5 almost. Well, top 4 definitely have had an off night.
The top 4 have scored 23 points between them, and 24 points between them, and the reserves have scored 21 between the two of them.
There's all you need to know.
That's some going, to be fair, by the reserves. Fence still being fixed. I hope this today don't take long.
All they need is an old puncher and some cable ties, and they'll be sorted.
Now, who did Birmingham go for? Keenan Rue's been solid, but he was absolutely nowhere near in that last one.
For
Jepperson,
me, I would go for either Rue and Jepperson or Jepson Jensen and Jepperson.
I'd maybe throw Zagar in there, to be honest.
Or him.
I know it shouldn't be Toby. I know that for the fact.
Probably shouldn't be either of your reserves.
It definitely shouldn't be either of the reserves. Have a Heat 2 replay for Heat 15. Why not? The work is going on in the pits. That looks like Mark Epson Jensen that's just walked past with his helmet on. And he did look quick in Heat 12. The issue for Jonas Jepperson, if it were him, he's not been out, and he's not got a colour on his helmet, so I don't think it's him. He's not been out since Heat 10. So I think they're sorting his bike out, ready to pack away, as is Toby's. Chris Louis, Richie Hawkins and Chris Adams are talking to Kilby now. We obviously can't hear that, but Jepson Jensen was certainly one of those two that that just walked past with a helmet. I'd imagine Zagar's the other one, to be honest.
You'd imagine so.
There's positives, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ipswich pairing take a 5-1 here, if I'm being brutal. Let's have a listen into this.
You know, a little bit disappointed we fell short right at the end. Yeah, very unlucky. So, gate positions and riders, please.
Yeah, we're going to have Michael in gate 1 and Keenan Root in gate 3.
Oh, gate 3's just worked brilliant for Keenan Rue. We'll stick him there again.
Yeah, another tough night.
Is it Jepson, Jensen and Rue, yeah?
Yeah.
Made it tough. I think they're a team that's going to come into the season and improve as it goes on. So still very early days. Tough night for our top end, and our reserves have pulled us through tonight.
Which tells me who's going to come into 15.
Yeah, our 2 top scorers. So yeah, Jordan's going to go in white, and Dan Thompson, who's been superb off gate 4 all night, will take gate 4.
Fabulous position to be in. Well, thank you both for a terrific meeting. Enjoy 15.
And it has been a good meeting from what Kilby's just said. The riders are on track, so the line-up for Heat 15 going off the inside gate in red, Michael Jepson Jensen. Gate 2 in white, Jordan Jenkins. Gate 3 in blue is Keenan Rue. And off the outside in yellow, where is just one from in 14, Dan Thompson. I mean,
So it is.
Selfishly, I'd like a 3-all here so that my 48-42 prediction of an Ipswich win comes to reality.
I mean, there's every chance that could happen. And I think as soon as Rich Hawkins' new gate 4 was available and seeing what Dan Thompson has just done off that same gate, he wasn't stupid.
100%. And the 2 reserves absolutely deserve this opportunity.
100%. They've won Ipswich this meeting.
Yeah,
Fair
definitely.
play to them.
And Richie Hawkins giving some credit to Birmingham as well, saying that they're slowly going to bring their way into the season, and they have shown good signs. Some. There are still some
100%.
concerns. Don't get me wrong, but they've shown some good signs.
That first win isn't a million miles away. It depends when you face Oxford.
So for the last time tonight, Palmer, take us away.
So the start marshal then walking away for heat number 15. Takes right away we go. And it's been a good start there from both the Brummies boys, and Dan Thompson looking to come round the outside of them, but it's not quite worked, and Brummies currently on a 5-1 heat advantage, which you would probably expect against both the reserves. Where Jordan Jenkins, I don't know where the bloody hell he's going, but he's not going anywhere far.
Dan,
but it's Michael Epson, but Tom threw up the inside there with Keenan Rue. What a ride from young Dan there.
what
a great
is
ride
Rue
from young
doing?
Dan. And Dan there just holding the right line, to be honest, and is now keeping Keenan Rue at bay, and it doesn't look like there's anywhere for Jordan to come past. We've got 1 lap left to go. And been realistic, there's only 1 rider of the night, and it's Dan Thompson in his fully deserving of his 2nd place here. But there's some more positive signs for Birmingham after tonight.
Keenan Rue started well, but he has gone really crap in his last couple, hasn't he? From the position he was in at one point in that race, he shouldn't have been letting anyone through. I was 2 points out with my prediction. God damn it. The result of Heat 15 was a 2nd win of the season at Perry Bar for Michael Jepson Jensen, 2nd in yellow Dan Thompson, and 3rd in blue Keenan Rue. Jordan Jenkins just paid the price for a bad start, but absolutely no disgrace in his score tonight. Palmer, I'll do the Brummies scores in a minute when they come up if you want to do the Ipswich ones. No, wrong heat, BSN. Here we go.
Yes, that sounds like a plan to me.
Both Brummies made the start. Rue knew exactly what he was doing, and so did Jepson Jensen. Jensen got a little nudge off Rue, which put him straight into Dan Thompson's line. Keenan Rue went too wide on 1 and 2. it's all round the inside at this late stage now, and Keenan Rue was trying to ride
Yes.
a little bit more mid-track, and it just didn't work.
And to be fair, Dan Thompson was in the right place at the right time.
100%, yeah, and it just comes with learning the track, don't it? Dan's done more laps here than Keenan Rue will have done. So the final score on the night, Birmingham 43, Ipswich 47. That's a lot closer than absolutely anybody predicted. So
I think why I did expect a 20-point win here for Ipswich, so fair play to Birmingham for shutting me up.
Al, what was the result of 15, and then we'll close out tonight's watch along.
So the lineup for 15 was Dan Bewley in red off gate 2, Jamin Lindsay blue gate 4, Niels Christian Everson white gate 1, and to the shock of everyone, Ben Cook in yellow gate 3.
Christ.
And that was a win for Dan Bewley, second for Niels Christian Everson, and Ben Cook taking third. The 3-3 makes the final score 57 to the Belle Vue Aces, 33 to the Kings Lynn Stars.
I got that prediction a bit wrong.
Just a bit, me old China.
Kings Lynn's team building got figured out tonight, didn't it? With no real top end firepower, and it's a track that Bomber notoriously doesn't go well at as well.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think that Kings Lynn team, it was always going to be a team to do well at home, but it will take some batterings away,
Yeah.
and it's certainly done that.
BSN definitely picked the right meeting to cover tonight.
And looking at the BSN app as a bottle rider of the night, actually, it might be a little bit of a surprise. That Jordan Jenkins is winning the Rider of the Night award at the current point of time.
I'm not surprised by that, if I'm being entirely honest. Dan Thompson's been good, but based off of his form last season and so far this season, you'd expect it. JJ, not so much.
Jordan's got 52.7% of votes.
He's won it then.
Dan Thompson on 34.8%. Keenan Rue on 7.2%, and Jonas Jefferson 5.3%.
Jefferson's been better than Keenan Rue. Palmer, do you want to read us the individual scores out? Because BSN aren't going to show them.
So I've added them all up. So for Birmingham, Tobias Musiak scored 5 points. Jonas Jefferson 8. Michael Jefferson Jensen 9. Keenan Rue 9 and 1. Matty Zagar 7. Antti Vulas 2 and 1, not 4 and 1 like I've written down. And Jason Edwards 3 and 1. For Ipswich, Jason Doyle scored 6. Daddy King scored 6. Adam Ellis 5 and 1. Tom Brennan 5 and 1. Emil Futinov 3 and 1. Dan Thompson 14 and 1. Jordan Jenkins 8.
That wraps us up for another watch along. We'll be back in 48 hours time for Oxford Cheetahs versus Scunthorpe in the Championship Knockout Cup. Palmer, do you want to wrap us?
So I will certainly wrap us up for this evening, and then I can go and do my take. But thanks to everybody for joining us tonight. I do apologise for my language later on in the show. It's one of them; it just slips out. But no, overall entertaining meeting. Thanks to you guys for joining us. I suppose I'll get out of bed Wednesday to see Scunny get battered.